Beautiful souls, a beautiful star family. I am feeling it too. Whew. It is just moments before our full moon is going to be happening in Pisces. And this last week leading up to this energy has just been so intense. I know so many of you are just feeling it, just almost an overwhelm of how do you stay in your body? How do you stay focused? How are you managing this massive influx of energy that's coming? So I just wanted to take a moment just to share a mini message with all of us as far as just this energy. So currently, the full moon energy is still pushing through Aquarius. It has a little bit of more time in Aquarius before it breaks through into the Piscean energy. And then as it moves into the Piscean energy, because tomorrow is the full moon, as it moves into the Piscean energy, not only is it going to be pulsing right over the Fulmahat star nation. Now, Fulmahat is a powerful star nation that really allows us to receive some massive transmissions through our mental plane, if you will, but this is really through the higher mind. For those that are quiet enough to listen, Fulmahat speaks to us. They are projecting transmissions to us from the higher vibrational fields that are inspiring us towards new ideas, new technologies, new wisdoms, new ways to interact with what we are dealing with on the earth plane and to utilize some of the solutions that are being provided for us. But again, most humanity is too busy and noisy in the mental plane to actually hear these very quiet, subtle messages. But for those of you that have been going through this too, I know subtle is the furthest thing from what it's been feeling like. It has been so intense in dream time lately, laying down to go to bed. So, first of all, the entire day feels very much just like such a massive impulse of wave frequencies coming that it does feel very much that through the day we are being pulled into our multiple aspects of our consciousness simultaneously. So it is in some ways a lot like floating through this reality or having to be far more concentrated, especially when you're dealing with things that can really inflict some pain. So, if you are cooking food in the kitchen, if you are using the stove, if you are using utensils, if you are operating your motor vehicle, any of these kinds of things, really take the time to center, to ground, to create your 12th dimensional shield, to really fortify your field so that your higher self is allowing you to really remain within a safe space in correct time with the physical reality. Because again, when we start to merge our consciousness in higher dimensions, time starts to slip away as a mode that holds us locked into place. Time becomes very fluid. So therefore, you want to make sure you are in the correct time sequence with other people driving, with your utensils in the kitchen, with the fire on your stove, all of these things. You want to make sure when you are operating things in the material reality that you sync your body to be in correct timing with that physical reality so that you're not just in fluid time and potentially causing missteps in time, miss sequences in time. So within that, because we are in such that fluid state, if you've been noticing this as well, when you go to bed at night, a lot of times it feels as like there's a bit of buzzing. There's almost just kind of like this, just a massive download of geometries, of frequencies. If you really listen and pay attention, I'm sure you've been hearing all of the high pitch frequency transmissions that are happening. And they've been really impulsing for about 2 weeks now, but they've been amping up. And last night was very, very intense. And what I'm going to invite you guys to do is from your heart crystal, please remember to check into the frequencies, to ask your higher self to begin to sift through them because there's layers to them. Some of the frequencies are actually frequencies that are being directed from artificial technologies that we don't want to let them infiltrate into our field. And it's kind of this battle of the frequencies that is kind of creating it, where it's almost like uh, a little more challenging to acclimate this energy. Now, and then if you listen to the organic templates, they're going to sound sometimes musical. They're going to sound almost like a higher dimensional Morse code as they're coming in, because it's going to be very easily translated through your heart as a language being spoken, but it's a language that is very much light language, and the language of the spheres or the language of the sound tones. So this has been impulsing us tremendously. What this means for us on a physical level is that we're going through a massive transmutation right now. As we receive these codes, our DNA codes are going to have to assimilate them. And so we are kind of in almost a stasis moment within ourselves. So, really, truly honor this. Don't try to push too much right now. Just realize that your whole body is actually transforming. So, who you are, even your consciousness, is aligning. Now, it is aligning to whatever you focus on. So this is key. If you're allowing yourself to be pulled into the drama, the chaos, the fears, all of these different things, please be very, very, very mindful. And I will invite you to really go back in and do everything possible to begin to purge and balance all of that energy, so that even if you're experiencing things that are challenging, painful, all of these kind of things that we might be experiencing on the planetary realm right now, that the invitation is to pull it all into the heart and let love begin to be the holder of it, so that it gets processed through that love. So it helps to kind of ground it in to that unconditional love, and that neutral space where we begin to perceive it from higher mind, rather than the emotional or the mental planes that might be all chaotic right now. And so as that happens, there's massive transformations that are happening for those that are truly doing the internal work. So if you are really setting the intention to do the shadow work, to do the mask work, to clear up past miasmas, karmic cycles, and bindings within your plasma field of your soul records, you're going to be getting heavily assisted right now in a beautiful way to really begin to detox all of that out. And when you imagine going through a detox, sometimes it's really important to just rest the body, rest everything right now while this happens. So now, as we get to imagine this, as we're pulsing into this full moon, this is massive, because now we're going to be pulsing into an alignment, not only with Fulmahat assisting, again, with transmissions primarily through the dream state, because that's when we're the most open, receptive, and listening. But if you are in meditation and you can be aware of it and have that inner ear, they are really communicating at this time. And then as we get to pulse through this, and of course, they're pulsing through lunar, not solar. They're pulsing through lunar alignments, which means it's deep subconscious, deep internal. It's not going to be as outward. Their messages are going to be kind of reflecting almost in a secret language you're going to have to allow to unravel as your ahas within. And so, same with as we become into this alignment, the lunar alignments are going to be aligned to this energy moving through into the gate 37, which is family and friends of the human design or the gene keys. And as we look at this again, this is going to be really calling us on an inward level to really uniting with our star family, our soul families, aligning from our heart crystal to others who are vibrating at the same heart crystal frequencies. And this is creating a lot of transformation on the planet in many of our relationship dynamics, because we're realizing how important it is to align to the authenticity of the heart song that we're emanating, rather than to keep playing along with things that don't feel correct in our life. And as this is happening, this is going to be amplified by the solar luminosity that's coming through, and it's going to be pulsing through Draco. Now, as this full moon illuminates, it is going to be pulling the solar energy of Draco coming through, because the sun's going to be in alignment with Draco. And as Draco is illuminating through the sun, what this is for us, it is our cosmic dragon mother timelines. It is a lot of the massive wars, deception, manipulation, and the technologies that are being utilized on humanity currently. Many of their inception points were all the way from the draconian system and the draconian war timelines. So we can see that there's a lot of correction that is happening to this right now. So if you've been listening to any of the messages I've been sharing, a lot of them have to do with that our biggest call to being a pillar of light right now is to be the pillar that holds the organic transmissions that is beginning to shut down the AI transmissions that are wanting to create an AI or a cyborg humanity or human species. So this is a massive thing. We're really utilizing our divine law and our right sovereignty within the ability to say, I do not consent and I choose the organic timelines. And as we do this, I wanted to just share very quickly one last thing that I just thought was so beautiful. As I was meditating on this energy, I asked Kali Ma, Divine Mother, to really share a message for all of us. And uh, the card that came through, I just thought was so beautiful. It's a Bhuvanesvari, our cosmic mother, our cosmic mother. And it says, our cosmic mother is a light bringer, the sun and moon, the light of renewal and healing. She is the divine voice, the sound of creation, the sublime note that births the golden era. Hers is the capacity to create a clean slate and a fresh start. She is hope and she is arising. She protects and she preserves that which is worthy of the heart. She shines in a perpetual state of divine beauty and radiance, reigniting our creative fires and attracting to us the most supportive and honoring circumstances. Her presence signifies utmost grace. And I thought this was so beautiful. I've been very, very called for quite a while now to really meditate the Gayatri mantra, Om Bhur Bhuva Sava. And that first line within there has Om Bhu Bhuva. So you can see within her name is the Bhuva. And what this actually is really referring to is the lokas. And when we look at the realms of the lokas, the seven lokas above, so the seven worlds or realms above and the seven worlds or realms below, Om Bhur Bhuva Sava. So as we look at this, we're connecting to the creator realms. We are connecting to the universal templates above us. Even if we were to look at it as the tree of life, we're connecting to the spheres of consciousness above us. And she holds that wisdom for us, that as we emanate this grace through us, how can we be this emanation into this reality in the sphere where we are? And I thought this was so beautiful because it's Bhuvanesvari is the primordial creative divine power of sound. She is the goddess Vak, the primordial goddess, who emanates as Sarasvati, the goddess of sound, music, creativity, knowledge, and healing. The oracle indicates the significance of voice, creative power, inner spiritual authority, and sound healing. All created phenomena has a sound frequency. It may not all be physically audible, but the vibration can be felt as a soul on the soul level. It vibrates higher than we do and it uplifts us. So this is really powerful because again, as those messages are coming from the full Mahat Star Nation, they are truly emanating a frequency that we have to quiet down a little bit to even hear these messages coming through. Sometimes a lot of the chaos from the false transmissions that are wanting to keep us distracted or feeling chaotic. So within this, I just thought it was so beautiful because it says that as we allow these energies to permeate and influence the space where we are, that we will surround ourselves with this grace, with this love, with this compassion, with this higher heart and higher knowing from the higher God realms, if you will. And that as we be the emanations of this right now, I just invite all of you to just receive this love. I'm hugging each and every one of you. I love you guys so much. I am feeling it right along with you. And I wanted to just share this little message as we move into the full moon, just to share with you that we got this. Let us let the love of the mothers hold us. They are holding us, they are embracing us, and they are showing us their power as they are fully and completely stepping forward now to begin to correct all that we are dreaming in our heart to align to the organic template. Means that some things are going to have to shake around a little bit. And our job is to hold that pillar of light and love within us so that as we anchor into this love, we do not let fear pull us in to making agreements or to facilitating the darker agendas that are harming humanity. That we truly be the pillars of light that say, we got this, we've been through this before. So, with so much love, let's ride this Piscean full moon all the way. I love you.